Hey y'all, it is sweet pickle time. One of my favorites, one of John's favorites. It reminds me of my Mawmaw. This is my Mawmaw sweet pickle recipe. So y'all don't want to go anywhere, right? I know. It's that old time. Did you grow up eating these little sweet pickles? Me too, all the time. And I wanted to share a couple of things before we get started. I'm going to slice these. This enamel pan is John's grandmother's and grandfather's. My mama and papa also had these. I shelved so many peas in here in a container just like this. But you want to use ceramic coated things because we are going to be soaking our pickles in lime. That was my grandmother's little trick because it makes crispy pickles. And I've had lots of people tell me, well, I'm going to skip that step. Well, then your pickles are not crispy, okay? So please get you some pickling lime. They're in the stores all over this time of year. Yes, they are. And that's what we're going to soak our sliced cucumbers in for. You can do it just a couple of hours or you can do it overnight, okay? And I'll be honest with you, I have done it for 2 days before when something happened, I got busy. And this also is John's grandparents' crock. Do y'all see this pickling crock? Isn't it fabulous? I know, it's a number 6. It has been in their family since before it came from John's grandparents' parents, okay? So I'm always like, God, please let me not be the generation that breaks it. Let another generation do it, not me. So anyway, we really don't know how old this is, and I love to use that. Plus, it's plenty big. It's also ceramic, so you can use lime in it, no problem. You don't want to use lime in anything that's aluminum, and so I just stay away from metal altogether, okay, when I'm gonna soak in lime, because that makes them crispy, okay? It isn't really a secret, but so many people just don't know that, okay? But my grandmother did that. She knew that little trick, I guess so, or she knew that. It even says on the bag, for extra crispness, and that is the truth. They are not kidding. And y'all, I picked all sizes, and I did not take all in the garden. It's burning hot out there, okay? But I got all sizes of cucumbers because y'all know if you don't pick this today, you know what size it's going to be tomorrow, right? And I've washed them really good in the sink, and they have the little pricklies on them, so I really do this under the water and get them washed really well, okay? And the tips I take off, but y'all know where they're going, right? To my chickens. Yes, absolutely. I like to slice mine, and I slice them about 1/2 inch thick to 1/4 inch thick. Not real thin. My mama did that, and so I like them to be thick. You slice them as thick or thin as you want. I'm putting the sliced ones in my scrap bowl too. Do y'all do that? I do that all the time. And anyway, you can also, I like to do it like this by hand. I love chopping. It's therapeutic to me. But honestly, you could use a mandolin. Just make it where it does thick slices, okay? Or you could use even your food processor, the slicing mechanism in there. But I don't know. I just really like this. This is my mama's recipe, and I feel like I'm in the kitchen with her, you know, slicing. And if she was here with me, and I love to think that maybe she is watching me make her sweet pickles, that we would be slicing. Oh, that's already just flooded memories over just the smell of some sliced cucumbers. Okay, y'all, I'm going to keep on. I'm going to keep on keeping on. And we'll go on to that next step. Y'all have been excited about me doing this. I think it's been 2 or 3 years since I made sweet pickles with y'all. So I'm excited as well. I am. I will see y'all very shortly. I have ended up with this big old pan full. This is about 20 cups of sliced cucumbers, or maybe about 8 to 10 quarts of cucumbers, or just a whole lot, right? 7 to 10 pounds. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We're going to put it in this lime. So if you've got a little more or a little less, don't sweat about that. It's real forgiving, okay? It truly is. All right, let me scoot everything in on my camera. Okay, this big old crock, we're going to start with 2 gallons of water. And I've got me a wooden spoon to stir with because I don't want to use a metal, especially aluminum. I think it just has a reaction with the lime is all, so, you know, I don't think anything's going to blow up, but I do not. I love these. John loves these. I think everyone I knew grew up eating sweet pickles that somebody made in the family. So I don't want it to die out. I want it to go on, and people are so tickled when they find out that, yes, I still make sweet pickles like my mama did, but I'm going to tell y'all something. This is Mrs. Wage's pickling lime, and her recipe on the back is so similar. It's almost exact to my grandmother's, if not exact. So it's a very universal sweet pickle recipe. And you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so they hadn't bothered changing that, have they? No, they hadn't, and I love that. All right, y'all, that's 2 gallons of water. And 2 gallons of water, then you put 1 cup of this lime, and it is very powdery. And so just be careful pouring it. I've got the air conditioner blowing towards y'all, so it's gonna blow on y'all, right? I'm gonna get 1 cup out of here. There we go. This is enamel too. Y'all always ask me about this. It's enamel coated. Y'all see that lime cloud going up? And I got these at a store in town, but I have found these very ones on Amazon, and I'll put the link because y'all always want to know. So I'm talking about it this time. I'm going to wash my hands real good from the lime. And if you're going to be putting your hand cell in this later, we're going to be washing these slices, these little pickles we're making. And I will put on some gloves just because lime will tend to irritate your skin after a while. To me, it just makes my hand feel almost leathery. trying to pickle my hand, right? I know. So I will put on gloves. All right, y'all. And of course, I know y'all are wondering, I need me an above camera out here, don't I? See how it makes it look kind of like a milky color, okay? Just showing like that. And it doesn't take just a second to get them settled. And then I'm just going to start putting my pickles in here. Just like this. I might even use that little measure I had as my scoop. I try to be careful with my pickles, and that's why I slice them a little bit thicker, you know, maybe 1/2 inch thick, because I don't like it when they come apart. Like, see that one I messed up on, that'll go to my chickens. I give my pickles away, and I just don't want people saying, hey, that's not very pretty pickles. I know I'm a silly Willie. Okay, y'all. Bear with me, and we'll get the rest of these in here. Just like that. And I'm going to use my little spoon. I'll show y'all that they're down in there, just all covered in this wonderful lime. And like I say, don't skip this step. I know I talked about it a little bit, but I had a friend one time, she wanted me to show her how to make these sweet pickles. And when I was explaining it to her, she said, oh, that takes too much time. I'm going to skip that step. And I said, well, okay, but they're not going to be as crispy and crunchy. And she did it anyway, and then she didn't like it. So don't skip a step, okay? Because then y'all be saying, well, Amy didn't tell me the truth. She lied. Her pickles didn't turn out crispy. You got to do this lime, okay? I know, I'm going to hush about it. I'm about to chop this up real pretty and easy for my chickens to eat on. Sometimes, y'all, I get tickled at y'all. Y'all will say, oh, I cut more of my see how much cucumber I left on the end? I cut more off. You're wasting. Well, y'all, I've always got my chickens in mind, to be honest with you. So I'm always like, oh, they'd like a little bit of that. So I'm kind of lavish on how I cut off the tip end of something. because I've always got them in mind. I do that if I'm cooking a cake, making a cake. I will leave some in the bowl, or I will scrape it real clean if John's around. If he's not around, y'all see I'll spatula that out. But if he's around, I'll leave it in there because he wants to lick a beater. And when my boys were little, I did the same. I left it for my boys to lick a beater. That's just part of life. You gotta lick some beaters, right? Right. Or take that spatula and clean that bowl out. All right, y'all, maybe at the end of this video, we'll go out and feed my chickens these cucumbers. They'll be so happy. It'll be a nice, cool treat for them on this summer day. I got so busy chopping up to go feed my chickens, I didn't tell y'all these need to soak for at least 2 hours. I told y'all that earlier, but I always repeat myself in case, you know, there's somebody that didn't hear that. At least 2 hours they need to soak, and that gives me time to make something else down in here with y'all. Yay! And then, even and lots of time, many times more than just 2 hours, I will let mine soak overnight. And I have even gone 2, maybe even 3 days with them soaking, okay, but 2 for sure. And so overnight, and I always love it like that because you can split it up. You say, well, I chopped them, I got them soaking. Tomorrow I'll come back and finish, you know, if you don't have just tons of time all one day. So anyway, I won't say it. I won't say it again, right? Do y'all believe me? I don't believe me either. Okay, y'all, I got y'all over here to my sink. I have wiped my sink really clean, okay? This was John's grandmother and grandfather's sink from their home, their old farmhouse that we live on this property. So you see it's got dings and scratches and scrapes, but I wouldn't trade that for anything. But it's clean, okay? Just trust me, it's clean. And I love it. It's got that washboard on both sides, and I just love it. It's so nice in here. She had that in her kitchen. And I would love one in my kitchen. I just couldn't get one at a time. Okay, I put some gloves on just because this lime makes my hands feel real dry. I had mine soaking for several hours. It was over 2, but not overnight, okay? You see how it likes to deposit down in there? Of course, I'll wash that out in just a moment. Now, this is what we must do with cold water. We wash them 3 times to make sure they're good and clean of this lime. It has done its due. It's going to help them be nice and crispy and crunchy, but we don't want them to have lime on them for us to pickle, right? So I wash them 3 times. So this is going to be wash number 1. Alright, this is going to be wash number 2. Nice cool water. And rinse this one out really well. And now, wash number 3. Y'all, I've got this pan back that we sliced them in to begin with, and that's what I'm going to put them in. From their 3rd bath. You'll see, because your water that you're rinsing them in will be nice and clear that 3rd time, and you'll know that you've gotten that lime off. Okay, now, take my gloves off, and into this, I'm going to add some ice water. And I'm going to soak this in here, basically. Let me raise y'all up a little bit. Basically, we're going to soak them in ice water for maybe an hour or so, but we're going to go on and get our jars sterilized and our sugar, vinegar, and pickling spice going. And this kind of lets, well, it keeps them crispy in that cold water. And something else I want to talk to you about. If you're out of time, this is a good stopping point too, y'all. If you're out of time, you can keep them on ice water and slide it into your refrigerator, okay? And then let them sit till tomorrow. They'll be good till tomorrow if you want them to soak like this. So however long. So you can stop at certain points in pickling if you don't just have a whole day to dedicate to it and still get it done. While our cucumbers are soaking in the ice water, I've got my big canning pot over here filled full of, I love to use pint-sized jars. And I'm going to bring them to a boil for 10 minutes. Do y'all remember these? I've got a tin one or a metal one. This was my mom and daddy's. And I love it. And my grandmother's looked just like this. So I'm going to sterilize it as well. And I have a scoop. I ordered this years ago. I don't know if we can find one again. If we can, I'll post it. If not, I'll put in the description box and in the recipe I'll put where to get things like this from Amazon or something. If I use from Pampered Chef or anything like that, I will put how you can get you one, okay? I'm also going to drop some lids. I have got these twist tops and these lids, these sealing lids, and only use these once. Some of y'all said, well, I use them more than once and they work just fine, Amy. And that's good and that's fine. But on here, they're only recommended to use one time, okay? So I'm just telling you the recommendations. I don't want this to come unsealed when you use it a second time and you say, well, Amy told me. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean? I gotta be more accountable than that. But if you do that at your house, that's wonderful and that's great. But I work too hard to pickle something and to can something or jelly something, and I just want to ensure, and these are not very expensive whatsoever. Now you can use these twist tops all the time, but I do want to advise, don't put them in the dishwasher because mine rust when I put them in the dishwasher. And I'll sterilize these as well. Now to the fun stuff. I want to tell y'all real quick, and this is a story and it's sentimental to me, but this particular pot, y'all, you know how old it is? Blake is 33. He'll be 34 this year. I used to boil his bottles and pacifiers and feeder cups in this, and I did Tyler's as well. So this pot has been around a day or two, but it works so well. You see it's nice and tall. And so I use it for pickling as well. I'll make soups and stews in it now, but when I had it just for bottles, that's all I used it for. To this, we're gonna add 8 cups of white distilled vinegar and equivalent 8 cups of white granulated sugar. And I like to use this pickling salt because it's supposed to not cause cloudiness, but I promise y'all I've used regular salt in the past and it didn't cause cloudiness. So anyway, but I'm using pickling salt today, 1 tablespoon. And I like to use pickling spice. You can find it in the stores this time of the year real easy. And if you run out of this, I'm going to read to you, if you can't find it, rather, not run out, but if you can't find it, or if you run out, let me turn y'all around here a little bit. I'll read what is all in it. And we need to make some homemade one time, just in case someone can't find it, don't we? Cinnamon is the #1 ingredient, and that's a surprising one, isn't it? Allspice, mustard seed, coriander seed, bay leaves, ginger, clove, red pepper, black pepper, cardamom, mace, and yum. Oh, and it smells so good. I smell like all of those in there. And I put 2 tablespoons or 4 teaspoons. I gotta spin y'all around and do-si-do. I got y'all like literally balanced in my sink there. So I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons. And I'm generous always, unless I say. And I'm going to turn my fire on, and I'm going to cook this and dissolve the sugar. All right, now I'm going to drain these really well. All my sugar is dissolved and it's getting ready to boil. Woo! That is one strong smell. It got all up in my face. I've got our drained pickles just below us, and I'm just going to put them in here. Like this. I don't like to get any water in there. I like it to be pure vinegar and sugar. So as little as possible. We're going to bring this to a boil and let it cook for 15 minutes. Y'all may not have quite enough liquid to cover the cucumbers like I do because I made so many this time, but just trust me, put the lid on and bring it to a boil. When they start to boil, they'll go right down into our pickling juice. No worries. I'm going to let these boil for 15 minutes, and guess what? We're going to have sweet pickles. I have got everything in here hot, 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 hot. Let me do it like that. Goodness gracious. All right, can y'all see the jar? And I'll get me a scoop of this pickle. It's got so much juice in it right now. I kind of drained the juice out because I'm trying to just get my pickle in there right now. There we go. I may have done too big of a scoop there. Do smaller so they won't get stopped up again. No worries. I will show y'all one up close, okay? And then kind of like before, I take a dinner knife and I'll kind of go around the side. I don't poke into my pickles, okay? Just kind of go around the side. And it settles them down some, and I can put a little more. Just like that. That's going to look good. Now, I want to add my juice. My pickling juice now. And I will do that. And I will cover my pickles, and I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch head space, meaning from the top of this jar to the product. In this case is our pickle and our pickling juice, so I can put a little bit more juice. Now you're going to need a dry, clean cloth to wipe around the top. This is going to be hot, hot, hot. Get it dry. Make sure you don't have any of the pickling spice or anything where it won't seal. And then you'll use this little metal tipped thingy, stick thingy, right, to fish you out. You're going to get you a lid and a twist top. Let me do-si-do y'all back around here. Put my lid on. And my twist top. I'll use my clean cloth because this is hot. And I'm going to tighten it only as tight as my fingers will get it. Just like that. And we'll see how many this makes. Isn't that pretty? Got my hot, hot jar. I'm going to put my funnel. I'm going to dip out some pickles. And I'm draining that juice just a little bit so I can get pickles in there before they're floating. If you pour it with lots of juice, then you might have too much juice. I'm sure y'all know that. I'm sure you know that. Okay, now I'll use my little dinner knife, and I don't get into my pickles, but I kind of just help them settle down a little bit. Like that. You see, now I have room. Add a few more. There we have it. Now I need to add my juice. I'm going to fill my jar where it leaves only about a 1/2 inch from the product to the top of the lid, like that. Now I will take my clean cloth and I will wipe the top just to make sure I don't have anything stopping it from sealing. Then I'll take my magnetic stick and I'll fish out a hot sterilized lid and a twist top, and I will twist this just as tight as my fingers get it, and I set it to the side to cool. Now we can put them back in here, and I was going to let y'all know before I forget, I can't wait. I made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pint jars. Aren't they pretty? So pretty. And then I had a couple little 1/2 pint jars that I loaded up, and I think I'm going to take them directly in the house, or it'd be a nice little gift for somebody, or a picnic, or if you're going on vacation, a little jar works a lot better if you want to take it on vacation. And y'all know me, I take on vacation, right? So anyway, back into this hot water. You're going to need water to rise up over it, and more jars you put in, the deeper the water gets, of course. And it's going to need to be about 1 inch to 2 inches over your top of your lids. And we're going to let them bathe in this hot, boiling water for about 10 minutes. Not where they're jiggling around and bouncing, but I got it boiling, and now I'm just going to let them bathe. I turn my fire off, okay? That's what I do. And when I first made these years ago, I did not water bathe them, okay? And I've never had any trouble whatsoever. But that is what you're supposed to do. But all that vinegar, and your jars are hot, your pickles are hot, and your lids are hot, and everything's clean, they stay fine. But we're going to water bath them just so everybody will be happy, right? Y'all, I thank you so much for being here with me today. And I hope you can see, if you remember these sweet pickles from your grandmother or your aunt or your mama, anybody, I know lots of us remember them from when we were younger, when we were little kids maybe. If you want to make them, you see how easy it is to make. You don't have to make such a big bulk of them. Just get you a few cucumbers and just cut your recipe down, and you can make some for yourself and enjoy a little bit of those days gone by. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all put me on pause and go get the stuff, okay?